Hey everyone, Derpy here, back with another Battle Pirates video, and this is my final Riot Fleet Spotlight. I'm going to go ahead and show you my entire build as well as talk about upgrades, and I will also try and drop the Kixeye build code in the YouTube comments or description, so make sure you check that out, and if that is helpful, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Going through here, I'm going to show you my build so you can understand it. You don't just have to blindly copy it and trust me that it's right. You can understand what I'm putting on here, and if you think something's wrong, you think you would do something differently, tell me that, and I'll give my thoughts on that. I'm going to start out with weapons. I have 8 of the Jagged Bite torpedoes and 2 countermeasures, 1 Gale 4 and 1 Cormorant Anti-Torpedo 1. These 8 Jagged Bite torpedoes, you could also use Bone Skewer torpedoes instead. These are to deal more damage, which is really helpful in these targets, and the Jagged Bite torpedoes are limited and do deal more damage. As far as countermeasures, the Gales are good at shooting down the mortars from the Hulks, and the Cormorant Anti-Torpedoes do help a little bit against some of the Hellwraith torpedoes, although they could be better. And I was honestly expecting an Anti-Torpedo 2 to come out last month, maybe in Pillage, but that never happened. I know some people are going with only 1 Gale or only 1 anti-torpedo and then 9 Jagged Bite torpedoes per ship, and having 2 of one and 3 of the other on your entire fleet, although I think that 5 of each is a pretty good number. Moving on from weapons, I have armors. I'm doing something a little bit differently than most people I've talked to about with armors. I have 2 concussive armors and 2 CTX concussive explosive mixed armors. This means that if I go to my defense stat, my survival for my concussive is a lot higher than my survival for my explosive. And these survival numbers on the right side of the screen don't take into account any fleet bonuses or anything like that, so it's just comparing one against the other. I've done this because I found that in last month targets, most of the damage, if not all of the damage from explosive, was avoidable, which means that if you drive well, you should pretty much only be taking concussive damage, which is why I have the majority of my survival being concussive. I have talked to a few other people who've done this, and I think it's going to work out pretty well for me. Moving on to the specials, the most complicated part of this, I have changed things around with some of the escalation tech that we have seen in the Forsaken mission, and none of the ones we've seen in Pillage, actually. The 3 changes I've made here is I've replaced concussive sync drive or explosive sync drive with Reef Rider engine. This engine deals more damage and moves faster, but your ships will turn a little bit slower. Some people have said that this is a trap and you're going to be making larger circles and getting hit more often, although I find that if I manage to drive in a straight line, I think I'll end up having a reduced damage because I'm going to be outrunning more of the splash. So I'm going for this one. It is increasing concussive damage, and I think it's going to be helpful. It just makes my ships work a little bit better. If you don't have this, you can go ahead and use a sync drive, a resistor, or even speed system 6, and that will work out pretty well for you. The next change I made is I am running a open water warfare battery instead of what I had on before, the advanced concussive battery, which was limited. This is also a limited one in the Forsaken mission, and what you see here is it just increases some explosive concussive damage and also adds some splash reduction. You can put this one, if you only get 2 this week, you can go ahead and put it on just 2 ships and leave the other 3 normal. You cannot do that with the Reef Rider engine. It is non-limited, but you need to make sure you have it on all 5 of your ships, otherwise you will have stacking issues with your ships. So don't put Reef Rider engine on 1 or 2 ships and sync drives on the other. You need to put it on all 5 ships if you're going to do it. The next change I made here was actually none. All my other 4 specials are the same as last raid. I have the damage diffusion system, although you could use Hyper 30 on it instead, and that would have a higher combat speed but lower splash damage reduction. I also still have Blister Hob Bat Ray. If you don't have this, you can use Sealed Fire Charge instead. Advanced Concussive Payload 3, which adds concussive reloading and concussive damage. If you don't have this, use version 2 or any other special that adds concussive reload or concussive damage. My last special is one I could have changed, but I did not. I still have Hydro Atomizer Nozzle, which has anti-mortar and countermeasure, range reload, and accuracy. You could have used the Signal Amplification Armor, which is a special that would go in the slot instead. That would boost some of those same things, and it would also add about 9,000 survival of each one. I opted to use Hydro Atomizer Nozzle instead because it provides more concussive reload, and I like having more concussive damage. It does also have Rocket Reload on here, which I believe stacks with the special the aft rockets, the Raging Riot rockets on the back of some of these ships. So that's my build, and as I said, it's the same for all 5 of my ships, although my upgrades are different. In the current state of the game, you take most damage on your 5th ship when you're driving stacked, which means that you need your defense on your 5th ship, you need your survival on your 5th ship to be highest. For that reason, all 4 of these front ships are U0, and my last one is X1. I did this with tokens and really didn't even push that hard. I'm sure I could have gotten most of them to U2 and 1 to X1 if I needed to. But I've upgraded this last one to X1 so that it will have a higher survival statistic than the other 4. I'm leaving my other 4 at U0 to show you that you can still do these targets with a mainly U0 fleet. You could do it with an all U0 fleet, although increasing upgrade in this last one gives me something to talk about and shows you how you will save and reduce damage. Almost done here, let's just talk about some crews. As far as crews, there's the normal things you could go for, like steelheads, or the one that sea serpents that increases turn speed and evade. Those are pretty good. You could also go for, I think my favorite one that works best is going to be one I actually don't have right now, so I need to roll more of, is the Silent Hunter crew that increases your combat speed by a percentage and also increases your torpedo damage or critical by percentage. I think that's going to be the best one for this fleet, so you can help outrun a lot of the enemy splash damage. That's about all I have. I will be streaming the start of the raid maybe an hour after it starts, so make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section, and as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.